I will start from where Philip stopped, and I try to put a student on the queue. So for the book names, I put the different student, and the system will show the message: book is borrowed. Would you like to wait on the queue for that book? Yes, and the system will show the confirmation. Camila Almeida is on the queue for the book Vamps. And here, uh, first of all, we decide to create a map, and inside this map, we have a book as a key, and as a value we have a queue, and we create our customized queue, and we have a queue of students for the book, and we check if the book is available to be borrowed. In this case it's not, so I skip all this part, and after the confirmation the system will call the method waiting queue, and I'll check if in my map it doesn't exist my book yet. I will insert in my map my book and the queue, and I will call the method add student on the queue, and I put the ID on the queue for that book inside my map, and after the return, the student will be on the queue for that book. So in this moment, I have Camila Almeida, ID number 3, as the first on the queue, waiting for the book Vamps, and I'll put someone else on the queue, number 9, Vamps, ID number 6. The book is borrowed, yes. So Eloisa Sarah is the second on the queue, waiting for the book Vamps. And now I return the book, number 10, and I inform the name of the book, Vamps, and the system will show the book was returned success, and they will show the first student wait on the queue, Camila Almeida, student 3. And then in the code, I check my method return book. First, I set the book as available to be borrowed again. It was returned and a success. And I check in my map if there is someone. I wait on the queue for the book. If it yes, I will go for here, and I will check all the list of students, and I'll call my method get first student of the queue, and I'll get the ID inside the map, and I will compare with the ID inside my list student, and then I show the message with the first name and last name of the first student who wait on the queue for that book. Camila Almeida is the first one wait on the queue for the book Vamps, and I'll try to borrow the book for someone else, for example, to Eloisa, and the system doesn't let Eloisa borrow the book because the first student on the queue is Camila. So I try to borrow the book for Camila, and the system allow Camila borrow the book, and I return the book by Camila, and now Camila returned the book, and the first student now it's Eloisa, student number 6. And here in my method borrow book, I check here what is the ID of the first student on the queue for that book, and I will check this method in my customized queue, and I will compare with the ID who wants borrow the book now. And if it's the same, I will remove the student of the queue, and I call my method here in my customized queue, and I will remove the student on the queue for that book. And if it's not the same student, the system doesn't let the student borrow the book because there is someone else as the first student on the queue. I'm gonna show now the sorting that I did to list all books by title, by author's name, by student name, and by ID. I will start with the option number 8 to list all my students by ID. So it will show first number 1, number 2, number 4. I check here students by ID, and I have it here, and I did the sorting using the bubble sorting. First, I have my first four to check all my list of students, and inside this four, I have another four to check each pair of element minus one, because the last student will be in the right position in the end of the swap, and I will check if my ID student in the first position it's bigger than my ID student in the second position. If it's true, I will swap the elements, and I have here the temporary. I create this as a student, and I will get the student in my first position, and I will save it in my temp, and I will get the student in the second position, and I will save in the first position, and I get the temp that has the student that was in the first position, and I will save in the second position, and I will do it until finish the swapping, until uh, um, read all the list of students. And here again, now I will sorting by name of student. And here you are. I have Ana Almeida, Caio Jesus, in order. I check my method, list student by name. The logic is the same. I check all my list of student, and inside the for I have another for. But here I have a string, so to compare, I have the method compare to, and it will return a positive number if it's true. So I do it for the first name and last name. If it's positive or equal zero, I swap the elements with the same logic. The first with the temp, the second I save in the first, and the temp that has the first I will save in the second, and I will swap all the elements until the end of swap and the end of the list of students.